This is Karen.
Hey everybody, I'm Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of experiencing the majesty of
Lake Tahoe.
And the vocabulary words are kilometer.
Kilometer.
The hotel is only a few kilometers away from the airport.
Border.
Border.
There was a long line of cars waiting to cross the border.
Operate.
Operate.
To operate the washing machine, you have to first put some coins into it.
Pine.
Pine.
A pine tree's needles stay green through all the seasons.
Amazingly.
Amazingly.
I think the singer on stage right now is amazingly talented.
I think the person sitting right next to me now is amazingly talented.
Oh, thank you so much. You are so sweet.
You're very welcome. I have a question for you.
Okay, what's your question? Let's hear it.
Are there any really good lakes to go to in Taiwan?
Well,
famous lakes?
Right off the top of my head,
Yes.
I would say Sun Moon Lake.
Oh, I see it on the top of your head. There.
What?
Oh, off the top of your head. The first thing that comes to mind.
That's right. Sun Moon Lake.
Yeah, it's not a huge lake though, right?
Well, it's not that big, that's right.
And can you just go, if I want to go swimming in Sun Moon Lake, can I stay in my hotel, go out of my hotel and just jump into the water?
I think there would be you have to be, like there has to be like a special occasion for people to swim across the Sun Moon Lake.
So it's more to just look at and admire it.
That's right.
Well, there's a beautiful lake that we're talking about today in my home state in California. Well, it's half in California and half in Nevada.
And is it very big?
Yes, it's Lake Tahoe. It's huge.
It's like around 500 square kilometers.
And it's in the mountains, and it's
Wow.
really, really clear water, and you can go skiing there in the winter, and you can do water sports in the summer. It's amazing.
Wow. And I bet there are a lot of hotels and shops
Of
and
course.
restaurants as well.
All right, well, we'll learn a little bit more next time about what you can do at Lake Tahoe.
All right, let's go to Lake Tahoe.
Enjoy.
Experiencing the majesty of Lake Tahoe. Located in the southwestern United States, Lake Tahoe is a 500 square kilometer lake that lies on the border of 2 states. Nearly half of it is in Nevada. The rest is in California. On our first trip there, my wife and I discovered views that took our breath away and made us feel like we were walking around in postcards that have come to life.
Today's lesson is called Experiencing the Majesty of Lake Tahoe. Part 1. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike, and I've never been to Lake Tahoe. But I know it's in America.
It's in America.
It's a big lake.
It's a big lake.
It's got water in it.
That's it. I've never been there either.
Okay.
But it does feature prominently in Godfather Part 2.
Oh, the classic movie Godfather. Oh, that's right. They film a scene by. That's very beautiful. I remember that part of the movie. It's a big lake. I think there are some hills or mountains around it.
It's beautiful.
People go there on holiday. I imagine they fish.
It's very beautiful.
In the lake. Maybe take a boat out on the lake.
With someone named Rocco.
Possibly.
Anyways.
And we also know it's big. It's a big lake.
It's big.
It's a lot of water.
Located in the southwestern United States, Lake Tahoe is a 500 square kilometer lake that lies on the border of 2 states.
I didn't know that.
There you go. Now here we have the word kilometer to talk about. A kilometer is a unit of measure for long distances. A kilometer is 1,000 meters. A meter is about yay long. Take 1,000 of those, you've got yourself a kilometer. And to give you an idea of how big Lake Tahoe is, it's a 500 square kilometer lake. How about that? For example, the hotel is only a few kilometers away from the airport.
Wow, so that is a big lake. If it was a square or a rectangle, it'd be 50 kilometers by 10 kilometers. That's how big it is. That's a lot of water. I'm sure there are a lot of great fish in there if that's your thing. And we also learned that it's in the southwestern United States, so we're thinking like California, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, that part of America. And it's on the border of 2 states. So it actually sits in 2 states, and maybe the state line or the border cuts through the middle of a lake. What is a border? It's basically a line on a map. Often you can't see a border. They might put a sign there that says, this is the border between New York and New Jersey, or between Taipei County and Taoyuan County, or something like that, or New Taipei City. But basically it's a line on a map. When we look at maps and see, oh look, this is where Belgium ends and this is where France begins, we know that because, well, the countries are painted different colors, but also the border will mark it. Now, some places in the world, if you drive over the border, there'll be police and a line and a fence, and you'll have to show your passport. In other places, like in Europe, many countries, they don't really have a border anymore. There is one, but you can drive around and stop wherever you want or go wherever you want. But in a lot of places, the border is basically marking where one country ends and a new, different country begins. For example, there was a long line of cars waiting to cross the border. So this probably isn't in Europe. This could be the border between Canada and the U.S.
There you go. Now, let's speak of the border, okay, in terms of Lake Tahoe. Okay. It sits in between the state of Nevada and California.
Oh, that's the border there.
There you go. It's the border between.
But there won't be any police on that border. You can just drive across.
It's a lake. So
well, I mean,
use a boat.
On a normal state border in America.
There you go.
You just drive.
Anyways, though, yes, here the lake is between Nevada and California. So nearly half of it, it says, is in Nevada. The rest of it, or the rest, is in California. And on our first trip there, my wife and I discovered views that took our breath away and made us feel like we were walking around in postcards that have come to life. Yes, there were many vistas and views, all sorts of scenery, all sorts of landscapes to take in. It was wonderful for those people because this person and this person's wife, they're not us.
No, sounds beautiful,
but
though.
They still have a compelling story to tell, which we'll continue to tell right after a short break.
All right.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课文是要介绍美国西南部的太浩湖。那么课文标题是 Experiencing the Majesty of Lake Tahoe。那么其中这个 Majesty 它表示雄伟或是壮观，它的形容词是把 Y 改成 IC 变成 Majestic， 就可以形容是雄伟的、庄严的。好，那老师们在开场时聊到说，他们都没有去过太浩湖，可是有在电影《教父》第2集里面看过。那么在太浩湖拍摄的场景，在电影里面有占了重要篇幅。好 ，Jeff 老师用到 prominently 这个字是拼作 prominently，prominently 就可以用来表达显著地或是重要地。那么课文一开始提到，太浩湖是一个面积500平方公里的湖泊，它位于2个州的边境，有将近一半是位于内华达州。那么其余的部分是位于加州。好，来看单字 kilometer。kilometer 表示公里，那么 square kilometer 就可以表达平方公里。至于 meter 是公尺 ，square meter 就可以表达平方公尺。下一个单字 border 它是指边界、边境。麦克老师刚刚有提到美国西南部的几个州，除了我们课文提到的 California 加州、Nevada 内华达州，老师还提到 Arizona 是亚利桑那州，还有 New Mexico 是新墨西哥州。另外，赌城 Las Vegas 拉斯维加斯也是在那个区域哦。好，那么作者接着写到说，他和太太第一次到那边旅行，发现了令人屏息的景色，就好像走进栩栩如生的明信片里面。这边有2个重点，第一个是 take one's breath away， 指的就是美得令人屏息，令人惊叹不已，就好像把你的这个呼吸都收走，这样子。好，例如 The sunset at the beach took my breath away. 海边的夕阳景色让我赞叹不已。好，第二个重点是 come to life， 在这边是表达栩栩如生，鲜活了起来。它可以用来描述事物变得生动有趣，或者是某个地方它变得热闹活络。好，例如 The exhibition at the castle made historical events come to life. 在城堡里面的展览啊，使这个历史事件它变得生动逼真。好，那看来我们课文作者和他太太应该是有一趟非常难忘的旅行。Jeff 老师说，他们接下来会有相当有趣的故事要分享哦。那么老师用到 compelling 是用来形容引人入胜的，或是非常有趣的。这个字是拼作 compelling compelling。这话课文中
Experiencing the majesty of Lake Tahoe. We started in South Lake Tahoe, on the California side. Many of the 20 million tourists who visit the lake each year head to this city of 22,000. It's an excellent place to stay, given its many hotels, restaurants, and shops. It's also home to Heavenly Ski Resort, which operates a gondola in the summer. So, we began with a 4-kilometer ride up to the top of a mountain, where we stopped to have morning coffee while taking in dizzying views.
Okay, we've got a husband, we've got a wife. They are traveling around Lake Tahoe. Let's hear from them some more. We started in South Lake Tahoe on the California side. Now, many of the 20 million tourists who visit the lake each year head to the city of 22,000. So 22,000 people live in this city.
South Lake Tahoe, okay.
But like 20 million tourists visit the lake each year. That's a huge number of tourists.
Yeah.
I hope they're not swarming this small city all at one time.
That's a really good point. If you think Kending is popular on the weekends, we'll try South Lake Tahoe. Of course, LA's nearby, Las Vegas isn't too far away, so there are a lot of people who are heading down to Lake Tahoe. And South Lake Tahoe is one of the towns that you might start at. But if you live there, I'd say open a hotel. That might be a good idea because you have a lot of business. And it says, South Lake Tahoe, it's an excellent place to stay given its many hotels, restaurants, and shops. So it's what we would call a tourist town. It's a town that's basically built on tourism. I don't think there's a big car factory there or anything like that.
No.
It's just about tourism. And what do people do there? Well, it says it's also home to Heavenly Ski Resort.
They have mountains.
Which operates a gondola in the summer. Oh, so it's one of those 4-season resort places. In the summer, people are out there on the water, you know, fishing or enjoying the lake. And then in the winter, they're up in the mountains nearby skiing. So there's always something to do. That explains the 20 million people a year.
So let's see. Heavenly Ski Resort.
Yeah.
You can ski and use a ski lift to get to the top of the mountain there. But then during the summer when you can't ski, that same ski lift, you can use that as a gondola, like the Malkong Gondola in Taipei. Anyways, here we have the verb operate. Okay, if something operates, it works, it functions, it does something. So here, this particular ski lift, it operates or works as a gondola, serves this function as a gondola in the summer. For example, to operate the washing machine, you have to first put some coins into it. Yeah, otherwise it won't work, it won't function, it won't operate.
There you go. Yeah, you're using a machine. Yeah, and if you're a driver, yes, you're operating a car. You're working that machine and making it do what it's supposed to. So there you go. You can take this gondola in the winter up to the top of the ski hill, and in the summer you can go up to the top of that same mountain, go hiking, maybe see some beautiful animals and take in the lovely views or the dizzying views that we learn about as we reach our break. So, We began with a 4-kilometer ride up to the top of a mountain in this gondola, where we stopped to have morning coffee while taking in dizzying views.
They were very high up.
They were very high, yeah. Dizzying is that feeling, well, if you're dizzy, it's that feeling of, oh, I got to sit down, the world is spinning around me. It doesn't mean that they are having problems with blood in their brain. It just means they were up really high, and wow, there was a lot of space between me and the ground below, or where we normally walk. So when we're up somewhere high, like if you're at the top of Taipei 101, you might have some dizzying views up there. If you're the kind of person who doesn't like heights, you might go, whoa, I don't want to look over the edge here. But on top of a mountain while sitting down and enjoying a coffee sounds great. And know what else sounds great?
A break.
So let's take a break, and then we'll be back with more from Lake Tahoe.
刚刚说太浩湖位于加州和内华达州的边境上，那么作者和他太太是从加州那一边的南太浩湖开始玩。南太浩湖这个城市的人口大约是22000人，那么每年来太浩湖游玩的2000万名游客当中，有许多人都会前往那个城市。不过应该不是一次就有2000万人蜂拥而至，不然就太可怕了。好 ，Jeff 老师用到 swarm 这个字 ，S-W-A-R-M，swarm 当动词可以表达挤满、成群的移动。好，那么作者写到说，那边有很多饭店、餐厅和商店，是住宿的绝佳地点。那它也是天堂山度假村的所在地。那个度假村在夏天有营运缆车。那作者他们就是搭乘缆车到山顶，然后在山顶上面一边喝早晨咖啡，一边欣赏令人炫目的景色。好，来看单字 operate。operate 当动词表示运行或是运作，然后课文还用到 dizzying 就是用来形容是令人头晕目眩的、令人眼花缭乱的。这边还有2个重点，第一个 where 当关系副词的时候，就相当于介系词加上 which， 用来引导形容词子句去修饰跟地点相关的先行词。好，当先行词是不明确的地点时，我们就要去限定它的范围，所以是用限定用法。where 的前面不加逗号。举例来说 ，The house where my grandparents used to live is not far from here. 我爷爷奶奶以前住的房子离这里不远。好，那先行词 the house 它本来是个不明确的地点，所以我们后面紧接着关系子句去限定它的范围，说明是我爷爷奶奶以前住的房子。所以这时候 where 是前面是不加逗号的哦。好，第二个重点。while 当连接词可以表达在什么什么的时候与什么同时，那么当 while 连接的前后子句主词相同的话，我们可以把 while 后面的主词省略，然后把主动动词改成动词 ing。我们用句型来看会更清楚哦。本来是主词加动词 while 主词加动词，那如果2个主词一样，你就可以把它写作主词加动词 while 加上动词 ing。例如Grace watched TV while she was knitting， 就可以改成 Grace watched TV while knitting。 Grace 一边看电视一边织东西。解华课文中。
Experiencing the majesty of Lake Tahoe. With much to see, though, we soon headed north to Nevada Beach. Here, tall pine trees and sandy beaches combine with Tahoe's amazingly clear water. We were about to learn that much of the Nevada side is made up of beaches, parks, and trails, nature preserved for everyone.
Okay, moving on. With much to see, though, we soon headed north to Nevada Beach. And again, it's not us going to Lake Tahoe. We've got a husband and a wife, and they're taking a fantastic vacation to Lake Tahoe. Anyways, let's head to Nevada Beach. Here, tall pine trees and sandy beaches combine with Tahoe's amazingly clear water. I've heard it's beautiful.
Wow, that's fantastic. And sure, if we're in the western part of North America, US, Canada, you're much more likely to see pine trees than if you're in the eastern part of the continent. When I describe a tree and I say, here's the tree trunk, and it's kind of like that, that's not a pine tree. If I did a triangle shape and then a little bit of wood at the bottom like a Christmas tree, now you're thinking of a pine tree, a fir tree, a spruce tree, these evergreen trees with the little short leaves or what are they called?
Needles.
Needles. They aren't like a normal tree. They don't turn yellow and red and stuff in the fall. And I think the tallest trees in the world, right, are these pine trees, the California redwoods and such. For example, a pine tree's needles stay green through all the seasons. Yeah, if a pine tree turns brown, it's not good. It's bad.
Wow. They stay green year round. That's amazing. Now, if something's amazing, it's super cool. It's great. It's surprising. You really like it. And here we have the adverb amazingly. Okay? If something is amazing, it's really good. You can say that that thing has affected you amazingly.
It's incredible.
It has affected you incredibly, in an incredible way, in an amazing way. For example, I think the singer on stage right now is amazingly talented. I'm amazed by her talent.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to this husband and wife duo. We were about to learn that much of the Nevada side is made up of beaches, parks, and trails. Nature preserved for everyone.
Interesting. So a lot more parks, a lot more natural, not some big cities or towns.
Resorts.
Not big resorts
none of that
and
stuff.
giant hotels and stuff. So if you like hiking and camping and that type of thing, maybe the Nevada side is a little more what you're interested in. Interesting. Good to know.
Interesting indeed. All right, folks, with that, this part of our lesson is now in the books, and it's time for us to say bye-bye.
Take care.
作者和他太太接着前往内华达海滩，那边有高耸的松树和沙滩，跟太浩湖清澈的湖水结合在一起，构成非常美丽的景色。那他们就发现内华达这一边呢，大部分都是由沙滩、公园和步道所组成的。好，刚刚 Jeff 老师用到 duo 来指作者和他太太这一对夫妻二人组。那么 duo 是拼作 D-U-O， 它可以表达二人组、双人组或是一对的意思。那我们最后来看两个单字 ，pine。Pine 是指松树，那么 Mike 老师提到像松树啊、冷杉、云杉、加州红木等等，它们都是常青树。那么 fir tree 就可以指冷杉或者是葱树，还有 spruce tree 是云杉，还有 California redwood 表示加州红木或是称为红杉。好，老师还有用到 evergreen。E-V-E-R-G-R-E-E-N evergreen 可以用来形容植物是常青的。再来看下一个单字 amazingly 它是表达令人惊奇的。那老师们用到 incredible I-N-C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E incredible 也可以用来形容是惊人的、令人难以置信或是非常棒的。那它的副词就是把这个 I-B-L-E 给改成 I-B-L-Y 变成 incredibly 表示极为怎么样、极其怎么样。好，以上这节课程讲解，我们下次见喽，拜拜。
See you next time.